may look like a very expensive gift, and it is, but it's not what you would expect. This is actually a box with a delightful melon in it. Here in Japan, a melon like this goes for a lot of money, and it's highly prized here, not just for its taste, but because it's supposed to bring good fortune. Now, usually in Japan, you would just eat this with your family or friends for a celebration, and you wouldn't add too many flavors to it. But I'm gonna add a few little tweaks to it to make it into a delicious fruit salad. Now, this is very unusual for me to add tofu to a sweet dish, but silken tofu is really neutral in flavor, so it does carry other flavors with it. So in a bowl, I'm going to combine some silken tofu, which is, as the name suggests, really silky and soft. It's a fantastic substitute for cream. I'll add about half of this silken tofu. And what I've done to the tofu is taken it out of the pack, placed a little bit of paper toweling down the bottom just to take away a lot of the liquid because I don't want that watery flavour to it. Leave it on the paper and put a little bit of paper on top of it too, and just press down lightly on it for about 15 minutes so we get a creamier finish on the tofu. Now, tofu is made with soybean. I'm going to add some extra flavours to it. Miso paste. Now, miso does have a slightly salty flavour to it, but if you're going to use miso in a sweet context like this, try to find white miso. See how white this is? The only thing I can compare it to is peanut butter. That does have a little bit of saltiness from the peanuts. And to bring out the flavours of it and to sweeten it, a little bit of sugar with some honey to give it almost a molasses-like flavour, and then a hint of ginger. Now have a look at this ginger. This is gorgeous new season ginger. You know it's new season because the skin is so thin, you don't even need to peel it. So I'll grate that in. And because it is so young, it's not as peppery as an older ginger, so you can add a little bit more, and again, it works really well with sweet dishes like this. So I'll just put in about 1/4 teaspoon, and then with a whisk, break up the tofu. See how just after whisking it for a few seconds, it starts to become really glossy and creamy? That's perfect. You can also do it in a blender and it'll become even lighter than with a classic whisk. Now I'll just have a taste of it. That is so incredible. Miso, tofu, honey just works in harmony together. Now I'm just going to place a generous amount of this creamed tofu in the center of this gorgeous Japanese bowl, 3 or 4 tablespoons, and then spread that out. This will be the base of our dish. And then for the melon, I'm going to cut it in half. I can't wait to try this. And then have a look at that. Look at that beautiful green, yellowish colour. The smell is just unbelievable. Now I'm going to carefully take out the seeds into another bowl, and then I'll turn the melon over, we'll cut it in half, and then cut them into quarters, and then with a sharp knife, taking the flesh away from the skin. And I'll just use 2 pieces. I can just tell by running my knife through the melon that it's much softer in texture compared to our rock melons or cantaloupes. And then I'm going to cut them into just very rough wedges. Pop them in the center of our cream tofu, and then for a little bit of extra sweetness, squeeze of mandarin juice, and then for decoration, some black sesame seeds over the top. And I'm gonna have a taste of this melon straight away. That is one serious flavour bomb. You know, I can really understand why the Japanese treasure this melon so much.